a Reddit mess where I read a bunch of Reddit stories. We're gonna have a haha kiki moment. I'm going to give my unsolicited advice. Hands down. Hands down, I will. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the Reddit mess, but it was so funny to me because not too long ago, someone hit me with, well, damn, like, do you ever get lonely? And like, I have my moments where I'm in my funk and I'm stuck and I get into my mood, but I'm not lonely. Like, I may be alone, but I'm not lonely. Like, I'm content where I am in life. Like, I don't have no man stressing me. I'm not in no toxic relationship. I don't have to report back to anyone. Not that I really mind that, but it's just like the stress that comes with relationships when it's not a good relationship, when it affects your mental. That's the type of relationship that I'm good on right now. Well, I will always be good on. What the hell? I will always be good on that. And so when I heard that, I'm like, dude, I love myself. I crack myself up. Me and my little two babies, we just be up here having a good time. Well, I be having a good time, and what am I trying to say? I'd probably be annoying the hell out of them, but I am so content with myself. So the first subreddit is true off my chest. This person says, after getting a divorce and spending some intimate time with women, it made me realize something about my ex-wife, ... And it's how awful she smelled. I just thought it was normal since we married young and we were together for quite some time, but her hair always smells putrid. Putrid. I think it's putrid. Can we slow it down? Go slow. Putrid. But then her head was a little grease ball. It's one thing to constantly be around the opposite sex and know, like, okay, this smells nice. This doesn't smell nice, whatever. It's another thing to like physically live with someone, and that being your first time living with the opposite sex, to know like their mannerisms or just stuff that like the opposite sex does. Like, does that make sense? Like, I know when I moved out of the house for the first time and I was living with like, my mans, one thing I was like super curious about, and don't come for me, was how men would use the bathroom when they had to go number two. Like, what do you do? What do you do with your equipment? Like, especially if it's long, like, what happens? Like, does it sit there? Does it touch the toilet water? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I had all those questions, and then it's like when I got to live with my significant other, I was able to experience that. So this makes sense. You're living with your significant other for the first time. You're picking up stuff that girls do, like maybe that time of the month, something that you never knew, things that you had a question about, and you're just observing. So this kind of makes sense. Sorry, I had my rant. Y'all be okay. So getting back into it, after spending some time with new ladies via Bumble, Tinder, it's like the most magnificent revelation ever. That women can have proper hygiene and their hair can smell amazing. My mind is simply blown, and it makes me so very grateful for following with getting a divorce. To all the women out there that hair smells like berries and other He must have been going through it. He said, to all the women that's hair smells like berries and other tantalizing scents, I salute you. That's all. Baby, he must have been going through it. He must have been going through the gigs like, oh my gosh, I love my wife, but oh, she stank. Is this something that's normal? Is hair supposed to be like this? His wife over there talking about it's not good, it's not healthy to wash your hair all the time. Woo! And he's just going through it like, I guess, my wife said it's not healthy, it can't be healthy. And then he go out there and he sees a whole new world. Man out there on... Man out there like he Aladdin for the first time on the magic carpet, talking about it's a whole new world. It's a whole new place. Let me stop. I just had to sing that song because that's really how Homeboy is right now. He's like, baby, there's stuff that I got to see. Ooh. I don't think I could be with someone that smells. Like, I can't. I can't. Especially if your hygiene is poor. I can't do it. I can't do it. But then it was crazy. Okay, I'm getting off the tangent, but we're still on the same page. Is my kneecaps ashy? Ooh! I'm just zooming the camera in so y'all can't see my kneecaps. But anyway, anyways, it was so crazy. Like last weekend I had like a girls' night, right? And during the girls' night, we're drinking. Obviously, we're going to sit around and we're going to talk about doing the deed and stuff that we've experienced, right? And then one of the questions came up. Actually, I think it was me. I was like, do you think you could be with someone? Like, one thing I do admire are people that was with someone from high school and they got married to that person. Like, they found the love of their life, right? And I said specifically, do you think you could be with someone at this moment in time that's a virgin? Now, there's nothing wrong with a virgin. And I'm going to tell you how the two equate. I'm trying to get my words together. How did I say it? Okay, so my first question was, because I said I really admire people that were able to like find their soulmate from like high school, or like they stuck it out from high school, into their adulthood. But the only thing that stays in the back of my mind is, damn, like those people, do they ever see other people and be like, I feel like I'm missing out? And I don't mean missing out on relationships, or just like missing out on getting to know other people, exploring other people's bodies, stuff like that. I know that's not of importance, but sometimes that really like crosses my mind where I feel like, damn, at some point in time, does one party ever feel like they did not get to experience life because they've been with the same person from childhood to adulthood? And then someone else asked the question where they were like, do you think you could be with someone who was a virgin? Now, to me, I don't have a problem with anyone being a virgin, so don't get me wrong when I say this, but me personally, I don't think that I would be able to take someone's virginity, because I would have those thoughts where it's like, damn, I would want you to experience life if that's what you choose to do. Like, experience more people. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. In my head, it makes sense. But the fact that I'm talking to this camera amongst with this ring light, I don't know. Because sometimes I feel like, oh, that's good. I did that. And then y'all be coming back in the comments like, no. So the next subreddit is the best of Redditor updates. The title is, man gets a paternity test on son because he doesn't look enough like him. Or how to ruin your marriage in 2 days or less. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I, 37 male, got a paternity test, and now my wife might divorce me over it. Help. My wife, 35 female, and I, 37 male, have been married for 12 years. We have 3 kids, and I always had this nagging feeling that our middle child wasn't mine. Our oldest and youngest look just like me, but my middle child doesn't. My wife has shown me a picture of her grandfather, and he does look a lot like him, but he doesn't have any of my family features. He looks so different than anyone in my family. I decided I wanted a paternity test. He wanted a paternity test to put his mind at ease. My wife got pretty upset when I brought it up because cheating has always been a deal breaker for her, but I just saw that as all the more reason to get one done. I told her that if she had nothing to hide, she should have no problem with getting one done. I tested my son, and it turns out he's mine. Oh, sorry. I think that's like... Before I even continue with this story, I just want to know. I haven't been married, nor do I have any kids, but I know a lot of y'all, like some of y'all that watch, y'all are married and you do have kids. So my question is, if your husband ever presented with a paternity test, would you be able to stay in that relationship? Me personally, again, I'm not married, nor have I ever had kids, so I don't know how I would really feel given the opportunity to be in that situation. But I don't think that I would feel comfortable. I'd be like, damn, like, you don't trust me. So I thought everything was fine and I had my peace of mind, except she told me she was going to take her kids to her parents for a while. When I was asking why, she exploded and told me that she was seriously considering divorcing me over this stunt. That she was furious with me for doubting her loyalty to me, knowing how she felt about cheating, and that she would never forgive me for what I put our son through, making him question his place in the family. Damn. I tried to get her to see my side, that I just wanted to be sure, and that she surely could see why I'd question it when he looked nothing like me. She told me she would never forgive me for this, and that I hoped my foolish pride was worth the cost of my family. She hasn't spoken to me since. I need advice on how to get her to talk to me and get her to see my side of the story, and that it wasn't some attack on her character like she seems to think it was. I don't want a divorce. So that's the first one. Now let me go ahead and reiterate what I asked earlier. Would you be able to stay with the man, your husband, because he's not just a man, your husband and the father of your child, would you be able to stay with him after he asked for a paternity test? Now that I'm talking about this out loud, I would definitely be insulted. Like, if I would have never gave you a reason to think that I'm cheating on you, like if our relationship, like our marriage has been fine from jump. I mean, obviously we're gonna have some rocky moments, but for the most part, like if it was fine, I never gave you a reason to doubt me, and you wanted to put that on me, like to get a paternity test. And then she brought up a good point, like I completely forgot, like you have to, in order to get a paternity test, you need the child. Did he say how old the kids were? When a woman stops crying, you best believe she has a new life. Okay, so it doesn't mention how old the kids are. But I'm going to assume that the child is probably of age where he's going to be able to remember, or he said he. Yeah, that the child is of age and that he will be able to remember, like, damn, I remember my dad taking me to a place to go get tested to see if we matched, like the DNA's matched. I can see that. And then having to explain it, especially if your child is of age where they're asking questions, to have to physically sit down and talk to your child and explain, hey, this is what happened. This is what this test is for. This is why we're doing it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having a serious conversation like that? And then I'm sure the child will be like, well, damn, why did dad, maybe not then, but later on in life, I'm sure more questions would arise. Like, damn, why did dad feel that he needed to do that? Like, did something happen? You know? But okay, let me stop speculating. So here's the update. So it's been a couple of months now, and I thought I'd update. My wife finally agreed to sit down with me a couple of weeks after I posted, and as some of you said, she doesn't want to stay with me. We walked and it boiled down to she wants... It's going down. Woo! She wants a divorce. Woo! It all boiled down to she wants a divorce. Because I don't trust her and think so poorly of her character that I thought she'd pass another man's child off as mine. Ooh. I can feel that. She'll never forgive me for treating my son so abhorrently. He asked why I hated him. Oh my God. You see, I mentioned that. I mentioned that. So I guess he is of age to be asking those type of questions. He's of age. So anyways, I didn't realize I treated him so differently, but apparently it was obvious. Oh. I tried to defend myself, but she asked what I meant then, because no matter how I tried to dress it up, I accused her of cheating and treated our son like trash because he wasn't my spitting image. She then brought up she wondered if I was projecting because only one of us ever had infidelity. This is too much. I feel like I'm in a novella. Guadalupe de la Rosa novella. That's what I feel like right now. Woo! Okay. Let me go ahead and repeat it just in case anyone missed it. She then brought up she wondered if I was projecting because only one of us ever had an infidelity in their background and it wasn't her. That stung because while yes, I had cheated in 2 past relationships, I never cheated on her. I said that, but she said she never cheated at all, but that didn't stop me from accusing her of it, did it? So now my kids won't talk to me and my wife wants to divorce me, all over a paternity test. Back it up. Pause, hold the phone. Because baby, this is too much. The fact that he ended it off with, oh, she's only divorcing me over a paternity test. It speaks volumes over his thought process. It almost speaks volumes over his character. Because it's not about the paternity test. Yes, it's about the paternity test because you asked for it, but there's so much more to it, and he's not seeing the bigger picture. So they've been married for 12 years, and they have 3 kids. 2 of the kids look like him. 1 of the kids looks nothing like him. When he was talking about it in that first post, I thought, okay, this was just something that was a thorn in his side, that the fact that the child didn't look like him, but that's as far as it went. It just stayed in his mind. The fact that the child himself, and now it seems the wife was able to pick it up too, but she never acted on it because she didn't realize where it was stemming from. So now that he acted on asking her, hey, can you get a paternity test over this middle child because he don't look like me and I think you might have done something. Now she's putting together the pieces like, hold up. So this whole time, this child that we created together, you've been putting him off on the back burner, treating him like he wasn't shit in the family, like he's the odd duckling, the odd one out, all because he doesn't look like you. And then she made a good point when she's like, I'm not even that type of person to create life with someone else, let alone pass it off like it's yours. Because that right there, that speaks volumes on someone too. Like, damn, like, I just think you grimy as hell. I think you are capable of doing that. To me, I don't think I would be, I don't blame her for wanting to get a divorce. I really don't. Like, if they were to stay together, I would think they would need a lot of therapy. They would need individual therapy. They would need family therapy. The child is probably going to need some one-on-one therapy. Because can you imagine, like, for the child to be like, why does daddy hate me? Why does dad hate me? That man is going to have to live with that for the rest of his life, all because he wanted to prove a point. And then he still, at the end of the day, want to be like, oh, this is all over a paternity test. Like, you still haven't learned anything. She labeled everything from A to Z. You don't trust me. You really think poorly on my character. You hurt our kids' feelings. You made our child go get a paternity test. Like, no, this isn't okay. It's not okay. So then here's another update. My wife is divorcing me. If you all need the details, you can check my profile. I guess, but the short of it is, it's over. And he's still going. So this update was 6 months ago. And he's still talking about, it's over me getting a paternity test. I want to spend Christmas together, but my wife won't spend it with me. She said she'd split the day so I could see 2 of my kids, but I want her and the 3rd child to come too. She refuses to do this. I asked my son if he wanted to come see me, and he said no, he stayed with his wife. Oh, he'd stayed with my wife. I said that I shouldn't continuously be punished for getting a paternity test, and that the kids deserve to spend time with a full family unit. She said, our son deserves to be around someone who doesn't act in a way that makes him feel like I hate him. I tried to argue being a full family unit again would be good for everyone, and maybe we could even try to reconcile since I still don't want a divorce. And I think she should give me another chance. She said no, offered to split the day again, and that was that. How can I convince her to come spend the day with me? This is just all bad. Now what's really bugging the hell out of me is I wish he would go in depth about how he even treated the middle child. Because for the middle child to come out and be like, no, like, why does dad hate me? And then to come out and be like, no, I don't want to spend time with dad on Christmas. That's big. Like, what did you do to that child? And I'm sure that had to have bugged the hell out of the mom, but she just didn't know where it was stemming from for her to even react to it. Like, does that make sense? So it's like now the deed's already been done. It's already been done. And he can't be mad. Like, it's not like she's keeping the kids away from him. She said, hey, like, you can get 2 of the kids. The other one doesn't want to be with you, and neither do I. And that's the repercussion. Like, there's consequences to actions. So now, instead of worried about how he's going to get his wife back, he needs to worry about how he's going to make it right with his child. Talking about, oh, you know, it would be good for all of us to be a full family. And do what? Do what? Y'all were a full family for, you know, however long that child was born. For however long your kids was born. And they were able to see the dynamics as a full family. Why would I want to go back to that if I don't have to? No, I'm not going. So now as a father, instead of him trying to be a full family unit, he needs to think about how he's going to make that right with that child. That's me personally. Anyways, there's another update. I need advice on how to get my wife to talk to me. Help, please. My wife and I are divorcing against my will over me getting a paternity test. She wouldn't spend Christmas with me or make our middle child see me, though she did offer to send our other 2, and she refused to have dinner with me on my birthday, despite me asking her several times to do so. I finally got frustrated when she refused to see me this weekend and told her she needs to start working with me so we can work this out. She needs to stop coddling our child and make him see me too. Ooh! Ooh! Baby, that's really what she wanted to say. That's really what she wanted to do. You really thought that was going to be the best thing to say and do at that time. Stop coddling that child. Stop coddling that damn child that don't look like me and have him see me. You need to get it together after I question your loyalty. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. My wife refuses to work with me at all and refuses to send my son, who I, in her words, treated like shit, to see me against his will. I really think if I could just get her to see me, I could convince her to talk this out with me. I don't want to be the first person in my family to end up with a divorce. My mom says to give her space because she thinks I messed up by doing what I did, and any chance of reconciliation needs to be on her terms and not mine. But my dad is actually mad at me because he thinks I acted like a piece of crap, in less polite words, and ruined my relationship, and he has taken my wife and child side completely. I don't want this to keep festering, so I actually need good advice to get her to agree to talk things out with me. Ooh. You know what? Someone in the comments, they made a really good point. They were like, you know, it's almost like the wife, she needed a clear-cut, dry reason for her to divorce him. Like, you know how some people, even myself, like I had been in relationships where it's like, and I remember I told my mom, I was like, you know, get your paws off the damn table, get your paws off the table, get your paws off the table. What was I saying? What did I tell my mama? Oh, I told my mom, I remember I told my mom specifically, I said, you know, when I'm in a relationship, I don't like hurting the other person. Because I love that person, and I will just wait. I will wait until something big happens for me to be like, all right, that's my cue. I need to leave. And this stuck with me. My mom was like, why would you wait until someone did something really bad in order for you to walk away from that relationship? She's like, some people don't get the luxury of being able to walk away from a relationship when things get really bad. So why wait to that moment for you to do that? And that's always going to stay with me in my mind. Like, damn, like some people really don't get the luxury to be able just to walk away from a relationship, from a toxic relationship. Like, if you're unhappy in that moment, leave. Don't wait until it gets out of control for you to leave. So seeing someone say that, like, damn, that definitely resonates with me, because it's like, it does. Looking at all those updates, he does not know how to take accountability. Every update, oh, this is because of paternity test. This is because of paternity test. No, it's so much more than that. He lacks empathy. It sounds like he don't really know how to communicate his damn self. And I'm sure the wife saw that. And I'm sure she saw how he treated the middle child. And I'm sure all these things were just adding up against him. But she just needed that extra push to be like, all right, my hands are clean. I gotta go. I definitely have to go. Let me know what y'all think in the comments so we can converse. Anyways, so this is the last subreddit and then we're closing out. The subreddit is, am I the asshole? The question is, am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's coworkers that we're not married? So, I've been with my boyfriend for about 5 years. We live together. He does not want to get married, which I'm fine with now, but it was a point of contention early on in our relationship. Boyfriend was talking to coworker on Zoom when I brought him some coffee. Coworker said something like, oh, so is this the lovely wife I've heard so much about? I said something like, thanks, but we're not married. He said, oh, boyfriend always calls you his wife, and then introduced him. I introduced myself, then ended the conversation and left as quickly as I could, while still being polite because both my boyfriend and coworker were giving a weird vibe. A little while later, boyfriend came out of the office and asked, what was that? I didn't know what he meant, so I asked, what was what? Boyfriend then said that there was absolutely no need for me to correct coworker, and that it's better if people think I'm his wife. I said, I'm not his wife, I'm his girlfriend. And he never told me that he told other people that I'm his wife. How it becomes an argument, with my side being that boyfriend never told me that his coworkers think we're married, and boyfriend's side being that I should have figured that being called his wife indicated that coworker thought that I was his wife, and I shouldn't have corrected him. And when I said I thought he just made an assumption, boyfriend said that wasn't the point. The point was that there was no need to correct him, that it was rude, and that it made boyfriend look like a dickhead. He then said that the solution to this is that when he next has a call with a coworker, he wants me to come in again, strike up a conversation and say that I was messing with him and that boyfriend is actually husband and us being married is an inside joke. I thought coworker was in on. What? He then said that the solution to this is when he next has a video call with the coworker, he wants me to come in again, strike up a conversation, and said that I was messing with him, and that boyfriend is actually husband, and us not being married is an inside joke. I thought coworker was in on. I then said that was the dumbest effing plan he'd ever come up with. But seriously though, in no effing way am I doing that. And then he said I was being an asshole, that I got him into this, and now I have to bail him out. Update, we talked. He's effing a female coworker. Apparently, I can't leave my wife for you. Sounds better than I can't leave my girlfriend for you. So now he's going to have to tell people we've divorced. Baby, that's a mess. That's a mess. I really don't have anything to say after seeing the update. But the question in itself, prior to us knowing what the update is, was she the asshole? No. Because baby, if you want me to be your wife, put it on and make them want to marry me. Wait. Put it on and make them want to marry me. Yeah. Well, honestly, that was a blessing in disguise. It really was a blessing in disguise. So now she really don't have to go through the legal paperwork of going through to get the divorce. We just go our separate ways. And that's that. I really don't have anything else to say. I mean, I really wish I would have waited to read that update, because to me it's like, oh, makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Like, all right, whatever. But yeah, no, she wasn't the asshole. Let me just really try to dive deep into my feelings about that. You're having a conversation with your coworker. You've been telling your coworker that you're married, but you want me just to be content with being your girlfriend. And then when I'm finally content with being just your girlfriend, then you want me to go out in public and tell people, oh, we're married. That makes no sense whatsoever. Whatsoever. If you were going to be so pressed about it, you should have married me. If this is what you're going to end up doing, you should have married me. But baby, guess what? It's okay because you cheated on me. And now we ain't got to do all the extra steps. Now I can just go my way, you go your way. What do y'all think? I really don't have anything else to say now that I know the update. What do y'all think?